Hello and welcome from Mülheim, Ruhr, Germany. This is the Ahorn dealership, one of 3 main dealerships, and this is the Canada TE motorhome. And this one is a used one. It's a 2017 model, and so I'm always telling people to buy used vans. I mean, I'm telling people don't buy a van at all. I tell people to rent van. You rent it first, right? Or you borrow it, then you can rent it, and then you rent it again. Then you get a used one, right? So don't sort of ask me what van should I buy, because what vans you see on my site are normally vans that even if you bought them after seeing them immediately, so the video ends, let's say at 9 and you ring up at 9:30 and you say I want to buy a van. You get an answering machine says, so you have to ring back tomorrow morning. So you ring back tomorrow morning because it's too late, and then you ring back tomorrow morning and say, yeah, sure, you can have it, but it'll delivery be in a year and a half's time. And that's not exaggerated, that's what usual is. But if you can come and get a used van, they're available immediately. Now something like this new will cost from 45,000 euros. This one here will cost more than that because it's got extra kit inside. You see, but it's used. It should cost less. Well, yes, but this has got extras in it, and so it's gonna cost you more. And that's quite normal. The motorhomes are not cars. They don't lose their value, particularly in the current climate. But anyway, let's have a look at some of the things that this one here has got. Well, you can see one of the things up there immediately. It's got a Chuma Aventa, and I think that you're looking at about 3,500 euros, I think, off the top of my head, and for starters. And right, but let's talk a little bit about the van. So the motorhome. So what we've got here is single bed layout, but if you want you can join it together. There's a thing to join it up with, and what you do is you lift this thing up here and you pull this thing here out like that. And I won't do it with just one hand. You say I need someone to help me do this, and then you can stick this in the middle. And that one there as well, you can stick in the middle, and then you got a nice big bed, and you got this here, the top, so you don't actually have to see the person you're sleeping with. You may say that that's not a very good idea. Well, they've thought of that one in new models. The wardrobe is no longer here, it's moved somewhere else. I don't know any new motorhomes that actually have this layout. I would say this was the sort of thing that was much commoner in the first decade of this century, and now we're on the 3rd decade. That's in my motorhome experience, and this is the 2nd decade when this one was of course actually built. Right, now you may say, well, that's all very good, but what about some shelves? Once I was against shelves, now I'm sort of for them, and to be quite honest, I don't really know. But I will say one thing, whatever's in there, every time you open the thing, the door, this will fall out. Whatever's inside will fall out. There you go, same thing in there. These things here at the back, yeah, quite deep. I suppose you're using your space up. Would have been nicer to have something at the front, but it's going to hit this thing here, so that's not really possible. But now there are sort of things you can actually put here, sort of. I can talk about a company called this thing called Kipper, which is manufactured near Gunsberg. You sort of clip it off, and you can just sort of clip it off from one way to the other. Elastic. Right, if you want to get into the garage really quickly, you can do it like this, and that's what the garage looks like. So if I get locked in this van tonight, for example, I'll be able to get out via the garage. Now this is a comparatively cheap brand. 45,000 may sound like a lot of cash and you got it in your pocket, but when it comes to motorhomes, it isn't. And so more expensive versions, or sort of the German layout, will allow you, so more expensive vans with a German layout like this will give you possibly a larger garage, but they will cost you a lot more cash. Right, down here we've got the boiler. There's the boiler and something else in there. Don't quite know what that is. But anyway, there's a boiler plus something else, I don't know what it is, in there. And as it's the boiler, there's your ventilation. And this side, you can stick your clothes. If you haven't any clothes, you can stick some cushions in there instead. I've also filmed the more recent versions of this vehicle, and you will note they are somewhat different. At the back, it doesn't have the wardrobe sit there, for example. Shower. Now, one of the things about using a shower is in the vans is that there are people who say that they don't want to use the shower in the van because it sort of does make things a bit damp, and I understand that point of view. The campsite, I don't use the showers. I'd rather sort of get washed in my own place, but I think I'm in a minority on that one. Right, standard kitchen. I can see that somebody's left this was open up here, and because that's fallen from the sky. Now, more recent models, this is Ahorn uses central locking, but this is before it started using central locking. Enormous big table, and it's one of these tables. I'll show the table. It'll go down. You see, it's got these different heights. It comes from Italy. They're pretty expensive. You want to buy one of them. I looked it up for my own vehicle, and I was rather shocked at the price. The bed will come down. I haven't got the key, so I won't be able to show it, but I have shown it in other videos coming down. Another little extra you've got here, and this one here is the television. And so if you like to buy a television, that'll save you some cash. I noticed they've also put these things. Oh, this has got the Goldschmidt suspension system in as well. Now, it is a pretty expensive thing to get, and Mr. Goldsmith is a friend of mine, Dieter. So he sold the company though to Hymer. Right, and it's got a bigger fridge than what was standard. I think the standard is a smaller one than that, I think, as I recall. So that's all why there's going to be no difference between the price of paying one of these, this one here, and a new one, but the new one won't have all the features. You have to pay extra for them. Look in the garage, you've already seen. Plug in the garage. Exhaust the boiler. Oh, it's got a SOG toilet as well, isn't it? It's even more money. It's your water. So, I hope you found that of interest, and if you did, then you might want to subscribe, and if you didn't, then you just wasted 9 minutes and 34 seconds. So, thanks for watching.